Hello my friends, this is Yelena Brezhneva, and we're here to talk about Las Vegas real estate market. I have a very detailed and interesting presentation for you, so this way we can all stay up to date. It's sometimes hard to understand what's going on in the market, so I hope the way I made this presentation today will give you a more in-depth understanding, a little bit more insight of the trends, what is going on in the market today, and I hope you're going to enjoy this video. And make sure, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this video with your friends. But before we begin, I want to introduce you with a beautiful video. So I'm going to stream it right now. Well, my friends, this is a beautiful video that is saying Las Vegas is open. So make sure, come down, visit Las Vegas, check us out, look for investment properties, a great time, great opportunities, and let's get straight to it. Okay, so this is our Las Vegas COVID-19 market report that I've prepared especially for you guys. So this is our snapshot of what is happening in Las Vegas real estate. These are stats as of May 2020. As you can see here, we have 2,075 sold homes. Median sale price was $315,000. Average days on the market was 30 days. We had average listing price per square foot $168, and we have 3,231 new listings during month of May, which is 29.7% less compared to May of 2019. And the list price to sales price ratio is 98.4. So what does that mean? Well, next slides will give you more understanding, because it's really hard to understand what is happening on the market without knowing what was happening on the market before, right? So, and this is our gorgeous Las Vegas that is open and is looking for you guys to come and visit us. So this is a snapshot for the real estate market for March, and I've prepared this for March, April, and May, so we will keep going back and forth just to have an understanding of what was happening. So in March of 2020 we had new listings, 2,540 new listings, which already was 17% less than 2019. So we can see once the COVID hit in the middle of March, so the new listings dropped coming out on the market. The other interesting data though, the closed sales were in March 1,842, which was still 4.8% above compared to 2019. And we are looking right now at the single family. Median sale price was $310,000 in March, which was 3% more than 2019. And we actually had month of supply of inventory was 2.3. So as you understand that in order for market to be balanced, you need to have at least 6 months of inventory. So right in March when COVID hit, people stopped putting listings on the market. Nobody knew what is happening, right? So that is why we are looking at these numbers that is dropping. Okay, so and then let's look at the townhouses and condos. So townhouses and condo also showing that new listings were 22.4% less than last year. It was 688. It's still closed. Closed sales were still 9% higher than the last year. So this is the remainder of the properties that were closing in the market. So let's look right away at April. So in the single family homes, April had new listings 1,688, which was 43% less than last year, which shows that people, whoever was like in the funnel and they were working on it, they decided to move through it. A lot of people did not go through. We can look at the closed sales, that there was 1,304 closed sales in April, which is 30% less than last year. And we can see the median price remained the same. Average sale price still was 6% up compared to the last year. And of course, the inventory was still 29% less than last year. If we look at the townhouses and condo, same thing, we can see the same almost ratio, that new listings it was a 39.2% less listings compared to April of last year, and closed sales were 45% less than last year, obviously. And let's look at May. So in May, new listings are picking up. We can see that in May we had 2,241 new listings, which is already 27.8% less. So if we go back to April, that number was 43% less than last year. And here we can see how market is starting to pick up and climb out. Let's look at the closed sales. Well, in April we had 30% less closed sales than last year. And in May, we actually have 51% less closed sales compared to the last year. Let's look at the townhouse and the condo report. So if we look at April we had almost 40% less new listings, and in May we had 32.9% less new listings compared to last year, which is still a better number compared to April. You can actually see how these numbers are coming up. So when we look at the closed sales, it's important also to see pending sales. So the closed sales in May were 57% less in the townhouse and condo compared to last year. And if we look at April, that number was 45% less than last year. So basically it shows that even though the trend, everybody was holding off and everybody was waiting and what's going to happen to the market, some of the owners, they decided to go on the market and take advantage of the shortage and shortage of availability. As of right now in May, we do have around 2 months worth of supply. So even though the demand wasn't high because a lot of people were looking and they didn't have the jobs to qualify, the interest rates remain low. So those that are able to still move forward with this sale, and now a lot of people, they're getting their jobs back, they have their contracts and they're relocating still. We still have a lot of relocation. Usually we have about 40% relocation from California, people who are trying to avoid the taxation in California, and they're looking for more of a tax welcoming climate. That is Las Vegas for you, my friends. Okay, let's look further. So this, I love the graph because it kind of shows you a perspective. So in the beginning we saw how many sold homes were, right? We saw that there was 2,075 sold homes. Well, here you can see that actually it's not that bad, because we've had back in 2019, but you could see how the market was picking up and then how it's starting to crash, and this is all the way through May. And you can see that the last spike here is right after the March, when these numbers began to decline. Let's look at the median sale price. As you can see, the median sale price is still rising, and it is steady, and it is 315,000, which is still better compared to 2017. You can see that how the list price per square foot, around $168, is still remaining pretty high. It's not dropping. The prices are not dropping, my friends. So this is one of the questions that and comments that I get from some people. They're like, oh, we're gonna wait till the prices drop. Well, my friends, let's look at these numbers again. Okay, so the new listings, so we remember that we had 30% less new listings compared to last year. Well, it still does not look too bad. If you see those tendencies due to whatever these circumstances to go down, existed. And here I looked at the 3-year time frame just to give you more understanding of these tendencies. So this is we're looking at the amount of new listings coming up on the market since 2017. So we've always had a shortage of new listings before. Look at this. We had it in 2018 at some point, in 2019 when things were slowing down. So yes, it is less than last year, but hey, it's not something like we haven't seen before. This is also a 3-year time frame that shows how many homes we had for sale, and this is throughout the entire MLS systems. And you can see since 2017, I mean, we did have the shortest amount of supplies was back in 2018, but still it's not really that bad. So this is again another way to look at the month of supply of homes for sale. And this is again our fabulous Las Vegas. And here we are moving into a more detailed monthly housing market update. And my friends, for those are interested, I will have this PowerPoint link that you can upload that PowerPoint from my YouTube. I will also have that in the download section on my website, that is right here. And don't forget to check out my Instagram, subscribe, and follow. Okay, let's look at the May 2020 housing market update. And here is the snapshot. So here we, if before we were actually looking at, before we looked at the total amount of the townhouses, high-rises, condos, and residential. Well, in this report, we are looking at this split. So we can see that single-family units were 48% than last year, and we can see availability. You can see median price is 315,000, and condos, we can see that the sales dropped by 50%, and we can see that in condo and townhouses we actually have about 4 months of available properties. So this gives you a little bit more detail. It shows you the growth and from compared to the statistics compared to April and May of 2019. See, and let's look at the single family market trends. So how many closings did we have? Well, as you see, these numbers we are looking at since 2013. And even though you can see that number of closing, we were actually starting strong 2020, the numbers dropped and significantly, but it's again, we do see that these trends were here before. If we're looking at the median closing price, so we can see how since 2013 the median closing price keeps going up, and it's not likely that the median prices will be going down when we're experiencing such a shortage of the supply, my friends. So here, let's look. These are numbers of new listings, which we have 3,231 units, and here is available units. Look at the graph. Like, the graph shows you the market trends. It shows you market tendencies, right? So it shows you the market, goes up and down, and different reasons, obviously, and it is unprecedented times, and we have never been in situation like this physically. Yet, if we look at the market, then we see that these numbers, this is something that is familiar for the single family market. This is, we're looking the numbers for the condos and townhomes, the closing and median closing prices, and let's look at the this is our MLS map that shows you different areas, including Las Vegas and Henderson. So, and here you can actually check out, if you like details, you can actually go and see the difference in prices in each area. This is super important for investors. If you are looking for an investment, I always recommend to all of the investors, check out the area, the zip code, because even though we're looking at statistics and we say, okay, these are the numbers, they're not equal, of course, throughout. There are some areas that have high appreciation in the shorter terms, and some areas that don't. So we have this map for those of you who is interested to see which areas have higher prices and which area sells more. And this is a little bit more of the map for you, so you can get a little bit more understanding of our areas. And again, these are the numbers for these areas outside of Las Vegas. And here is interesting. This is a historical housing market snapshot since 2010, my friends. So it kind of shows you where we are at today. It shows you the amount of new listings, how it was in abundance, in 2010 for single family. We can see that the number of new listings were, 53,000 new listings, yet in 2019 we had 44,000 already, 686. So we do see the tendency of a decline of the new listings, and one of the reasons to that as well is that after the recession, we do have a lot of new development and new construction, and I'm planning on starting a new series of the development projects in Las Vegas, where every time we will be discovering new neighborhoods, new constructions, and you will have a chance to actually check out those beautiful properties and to actually see all the nuts and bolts of it, with all of the details and prices and views, and all of the design ideas and topics that are trending right now. So the thing is, even though we do have a lot of new homes, before the recession we had a few years ago, we had about 30,000 construction forces. So right now we are looking at about 8,000, I believe there was. So this number is fluctuating, but you can see they're nowhere near. So even though the construction is starting and it was picking up, I mean, obviously it slowed down right now, it still does, obviously the market is matching, so it's not abundantly overflown with properties, which would definitely bring the prices down. So let's look at this historical housing market update for 2019. You can see that units sold compared to 2010 and 2019 is about the same. In 2010 we had 34,434 units sold, and in 2019 32,458. So there is still a little bit decline, but it was pretty steady. and we can see the condo and townhouse market. Well, there is a drop, and you can see how the drop in the condo and townhouse market is also reflected between 2010 and 2019. It's also important to understand that back in 2010 we had a lot of new construction, new projects were they on the market. So right now it's not that many. We don't have the high-rise booming with new high-rises market. So that's why these numbers also will be less. And let's look the amount of new listings in condo and townhouse markets, and we can see the drop again, which also secures the prices. And this is I've added to this presentation a little bit more information about me for those of you who is interested. So I have this PowerPoint ready, and I would like to finish our session with saying Las Vegas is open. It is beautiful. We are, as you can see from the video, lights are on. It's slowly but surely picking up, and we can see June already has more closings, and the business is already getting back at it. So all this additional financing, I did hear that Goldman Sachs was making a statement that once the unemployment rates will stop dropping, which it is, they're showing a tendency for that, how the market will be getting back, trying to stabilize itself. Real estate in general contributes 25% into the general budget, into the general country, let's say, development, the real estate related, where residential and commercial projects. So this is a big scoop, 25%. And once that segment is slowly but will catch up, it kind of will create more stability on the market. I mean, surely we've been through a lot of volatility in the market right now, in the stock and everywhere. Well, there are still real estate opportunities here, and if you are interested, I'll be happy to share the real estate map for those of you who is interested, as a guidance again. And it was Yelena Brezhneva. Follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, and I hope to see you soon in our new series of the real estate